This is a Philco Model 84 from my research on the internet. I think this radio was made in about 1936. I got this radio about 20 years ago, and it played. It didn't have much volume, didn't get very many stations, but you could hear it somewhat. The cabinet, it has the original finish on it. It was quite worn out here around the volume control and very noticeable, so I touched that up, tried to match the color as best I could with some stain and touch that up so that it wouldn't be as noticeable. And a couple other little spots down here I tried touching up, but other than that, the cabinet is original, and it's not perfect, but I kind of like it that way, being original and all, and you know, with a little bit of wear and tear, it kind of gives it some charm, and it's not too bad. It's a 4-tube radio. I didn't clean the inside with anything wet. I just blew out all the dust and wiped it off with a dry cloth as much as I could. I didn't want to really upset anything. The radio's in pretty good shape. I went through it and replaced all the capacitors, and I tested all the resistors, and every single one of those was out of spec. So I ended up replacing all the resistors also, except for one coil wound resistor, which was still dead on. So I left that one. This is the old dial for the radio. I replaced the dial on it. As you can see, the old dial face was in pretty bad shape, and here's the new one. I picked that one up about 20 years ago, shortly after I got the radio, and I also did the little bit of touch-up on the cabinet about 20 years ago, and then the radio sat for a while. I really didn't know how to restore radios, and I was planning on getting into it, but it took me a while. And then when I did start, I was doing other radios. So it's taken me this long. I only recently got around to doing this one. This would have been the low-priced radio back in 1936. Philco was a very popular brand, and this was the most affordable set, I believe, that they sold. So there were an awful lot of these in people's living rooms, I'm assuming, or kitchens, or wherever it was that they would have them. Okay, so let's fire it up.
The best part, the product is so good, they've made a deal to get you started. This is a $110 bonus offer, which includes a free digital scale they're going to send you, and up to $55 in free postage.
It has a little bit of a hum to it.
Special offer.
I have it connected to a ground right now,
click on the microphone at the
and
top
it's
of the
not so bad. When it's not connected to ground, the hum is a little bit louder.
Before you do anything else, click on the microphone.
It's still listenable though.
Is Andy.
I'm not sure what's causing that, or if that's normal with these old sets. This is the oldest one I've restored. I tried to find some tube shields to try that, but I don't have any that were big enough for these tubes. But it sounds a lot better than it did before. It's got
the free website 44reverse.com.
It's got a lot of volume.
One weird spice that's probably in your kitchen right now.
I just have a wire attached to it right now going across the floor. I actually just got done with this radio about a half an hour ago. Well, more like a couple hours ago, but I was testing it out. Had it running for a couple of hours.
We reveal 3 common doctor recommendations about diabetes and why they are horribly wrong. Plus, you get
tune it a little bit through the dial.
Smart Kids launched that, and I've done several activities with my kids.
Really? You've used it? Good. It's getting good response. So you liked it?
Oh, yeah. We've done about half the
better for everyone involved. When we start.
Notice the dial is very touchy. You've got to go very slow to tune in the stations.
25 minutes, what have you, but I just want to let everyone know if while we're talking.
Virgin Mary suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried. He descended into hell, and on the 3rd day he arose again from the dead.
That's the 3rd man he's walked, the 2nd one of the inning. It loads up the bases for Nick Buss. Out of the Vegas bullpen as Plawecki goes out to Syndergaard. Goodell was throwing in the 3rd inning and then he stopped. And now Zach Thornton is throwing out there. All right. Aliotti, who walked, is at 3rd. Walsh, who singled, is at 2nd. Got there in a wild pitch. And Ortiz walks. And here's Buss, who's flying to center and fly to left.
Here in town, that the cash buyers are still here.
Yeah.
Slowly going away because prices have gone up. But a 1/3 of the properties are purchased by cash buyers. So far this month, we've had 190 PA buyers out of the 2,500 sales that have been reported.
Que ganó Argelia, la que no me Rusia o la que no mostró real.
Where do you go where it's going to be a fit, where you're going to get guys that are healthy? I mean, obviously if Derrick Rose was healthy and going to be healthy all year, which...
So there it is, the Philco Model 84.